Sharing is caring. What a beautiful sentence, a phrase, a mantra. How sharing is caring can be better for us for the sustainable development goal we want to achieve and for future generation. Sharing is caring is a phrase, is an idea that we share and we love. We love with friends, we love with family, we share food, we share same action, we share same school, we share same culture. Is this idea to have genuine action for the well-being around us, whether it's with the family, whether it's with our colleagues. But how does it relate to sustainable development? That's the key. How, by sharing our knowledge, sharing our value, we can achieve better sustainable development. And what I mean by sustainable development is really to care about our environment and how we can reduce our impact in terms of our print of carbon print, for example. For example, how we can, within our action, to take care better about our nearest environment and to leave it for the next generation, at least in the state as we found it. That's it. This is, I will say, a general idea of sustainable development. So, in this modern era, where technology has been instrumental in terms of knowledge, we share knowledge, we can have many, many ideas of people who telling us about how they feel, how they see the world, about their opinions. Social media has helped us to be closer to each other, to understand each other, to have a lot of information about what is happening around the world and what is our impact really on every single action, whether it's in the little Caribbean, you can see how people interact thanks to social media. So thanks to those platforms, it brought our world close together. So I wanted to, when I look at this idea of sharing and how I see it in the world we are, where it's been transformed with technology, how really people engage in those platforms in sharing information. And what we can see as a whole, when we look at the pure fact, is that we're engaging more and more into platforms like, I would say, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, sharing opinion. And we spend a lot of time with them, on them, sharing our privacy, sharing pictures, commenting about how life is beautiful, about new restaurant, how we party, how we are happy about our life. And we spend, according to the OECD, around 2 hours every day, whether it's commenting, whether it's liking, whether it's sharing. So what does it leave us? An idea of sharing has been growing in a large amount of information, and we have them, we share, but on the opposite side, does this sharing, this is what I ask myself, does all the share we do and all the information now we gather about the fact, whether it's the environment, whether it's about politics, does it engage us within our community, our little world, by having all this amount of information shared? Unfortunately, when we look at the data, When we see and we want to see how people feel and they engage in community, the OECD is telling us that people are engaging around formal and informal volunteering within the community. That's an average of 10 minutes, 10 minutes a day. So whether we engage to help our neighbor, whether we engage in cleaning some place where we would like to see it a beautiful place, whether it's in terms of charity, in terms of action, and we know action, this is what leads change. People spend only 10 minutes. So what does that mean? What does that mean? It means that we need to engage more. Action needs to be done if we want to achieve this goal of sustainable development and be able to impact and have a real impact on our nearest environment. So I ask myself, based right now on all the data we have, all the information we share, are we seeing are we moving in towards really just sharing for sharing to be self-sufficient about our little life? Or are we sharing for something greater and to understand about our goals and our responsibility? That's the key idea, to be engaged. We know for a fact that great things, for example, now information in this modern era, instant information, is great. But by over-consuming information and oversharing, does it bring us to action or to more static community where we're just being spectator in front of our phone, for example, consuming a lot of energy? Because obviously we know we are 5 billion, and if each of us spend, that was before the pandemic, only 2 hours over the phone, we're consuming a lot. So life is a balance. On the opposite side, when I look at our leaders, I mean the leaders, I'm talking about the one that create the technology, who create this, they will say, they call it disruptive, because they change the way we communicate, the way we interact. And those leaders, for example, from Facebook, eBay, when you look at when they make choice within the life of, for example, the children, because we know the children is the key, is the one that build the future. What is happening is that most of the leaders, they prefer to bring the children into school that is free tech. They're using only the hands, the book, to learn what is the world, to interact with each other, to understand what is about the contrast of personality we can all of us have about opinions. But I guess they develop as well this idea of action and creativity, not staying behind the phone or behind the computer, but understanding that there is the world and action need to be taken. So we have those ideas that has been published in many journals where those schools were free tech and where children don't use the technology at all, but just like the normal way to share and to learn how to live within the community has been developed. Since 1920, they have been on an exponential growth where they prefer that obviously the children go to a school where, for example, they are free of technology and they understand what is the meaning of creativity and understand each other. Because obviously we are in a complex world, we understand we have many challenges, whether it's environmental, social, impact, we definitely need to understand and be part of it. So, for myself, how I can relate to sharing is caring and this idea of sustainable development for a better future on understanding our world, on our impact, and try to leave a better place, or leave the place we are a better world for the next generation. I come across sustainable development in my training. I've been trained as a supply chain manager. That's the new terms. But basically, before it was logistic, transport. We are those people who comes with managing the flow in terms of information, in terms of goods, services, people, to delivery, product or services to person, whether from a point A to a point B. So we share a lot of information in this function, and right now, this function of supply chain management and managing all these goods and services and transport has been really improved thanks to technology and how information is shared among within the company and outside. So we can better plan, we can better optimize, so we synchronize all this flow for one objective. I remember when I was a student on training to be trained as a supply chain manager, my teacher mentioned to me and said to us, we are the leaders of the change. Thanks to the skill we're going to acquire, we're going to enter the board, and we're going to enter the board of decision because of thanks to the skill we acquire, we can make action and real impact within the company to reduce the impact and to reduce the pollution of our activities and to embrace the corporate social responsibility and improve it while developing economic and prosperity, meaning economic efficiency. So this, when I came to that, I say, this is really good. I'm in the job now where I'm going to change the world. I'm going to change the way we organize ourselves within company to have a better impact and to achieve this goal of sustainable development. So this is great. This is a function where we use data and information to be better informed about our activities within the company and to develop a real sustainable strategy to have a better corporate social responsibility. So that's great. And this is what I would like to share with you, is that now with information we have, we can take better decisions and understand the world, how we can really impact on each and every component within our society. So I would like to come with a real example about how within our little environment, within whether it's collective or whether it's the family, how with our little person we can develop and have a better impact and develop a real sustainable development within that I've learned since I've been living in Bulgaria is this idea that every summer I've noticed that everybody comes with the family and gather and sometimes share food in jars where people prepare and give some food and share it with the family to go through the winter. Usually it's the Baba who's taking care of this. This is really interesting where habit and little things that we do on the daily basis in our routine has and is within this action of sustainable development. So what I'm learning with Baba and the idea of when she shares the food with the family, she's global. The global to local, she understood it because she's consuming what is around a garden, what she can share with the family, and bringing to the others, children, the grandchildren. So the global to the local on less impact, not traveling far away to get your jar for your vegetable, but just share it with the family. She understood it. So she's already into the sharing economy because a collective effort is for the collective. Because after she prepared the jar for all of the family, they don't need to travel, they don't need to go to the supermarket and collect it. And I would like to end with an example near to my house, which is Guadeloupe, where we have this concept of buy coco pour savon, which has been developed in the 1930s with the circular economy. So where exactly people will collect coconut to transform it to soap. So this is another example within the community where they develop idea of circular economy, where they will collect what is around the house to transform it and to reduce an impact. So this is a key idea that has been developed and has been kept in the community. So those are the examples that we need to keep and amplify with technology to develop and develop good practice. So I would like to leave you with one mantra, one idea, one quote saying, sharing is a genuine action of one that is caring for the past, the present, and the future. That's my idea for sharing. Thank you.